Alright, y'all, it's April 13, 2015. Got quite a bit of rain. Rain's good. I guess I put some stuff sometimes I think is interesting on media sites or whatever, just kind of sharing stuff that I might have come across or something that was sent to me or whatever. And for the most part, I know that there's only a few people that might actually watch some of the, like for example, some of the John MacArthur sermons or, you know, videos like that might talk about Bible prophecies and such. And a lot of times it's really me just kind of, I guess, just looking for just a little input, you know. I mean, I spent quite a bit of time studying. I know a lot of people, you know, are into the memorization stuff, and that's good because it's definitely beneficial. It's never really been something that I guess could just stay focused on long enough to memorize as much as, you know, some of the people I know. They've memorized a lot of stuff, which, you know, like I said, that's great. But for me, I guess I find myself bouncing from, you know, if I'm in Daniel's, I'm trying to see how it corresponds to Revelations and vice versa and things of this nature. And I find it kind of interesting that some of the things that are on some of these channels that talk about, you know, like the major holidays that come up in September of 2015, and how the Pope has already had he's already addressed one parliament, and he's getting ready to come to the United States in September and address some more issues. And, you know, a lot of people are saying that it's part of the one world government, manufacturing of the one world government. I guess a lot of times I just say we'll see. I don't know how all that plays out. And then, you know, for I guess quite some time now, those of us that have, you know, actually watched some of the secular news and kept up with some of the, what most people call conspiracy sites, whatever you want to call it, or the history channels that are putting things together for us to watch and just kind of take our own view on it. But, you know, I guess lately I've been on this showing things about this meteorite that's headed towards us right after the Pope has his little addressing, and after some of the major Jewish holidays and stuff that all fall around what they call a blood moon. I guess a lot of people really just don't give a flip about it, you know. I'd say most of those people that don't give a flip about it, they just really don't. They just don't care about anything, really. And I can't say that I haven't been there. You know, I guess there's a lot of things that concern me more now. Mainly, I would say preparation. Most of the people that I spoke with, that, you know, are Christians, and then some that are professing Christians. I don't know if they're really Christians, but most of them just say the simple, well, I don't care, I'm going to heaven, so fine, whatever. Which I understand that, I gather that, but I guess the main thing I look at is, you know, what does a person do if they experience a meteor blast and they end up surviving the wreckage, which is going to be unimaginable, just unimaginable. You know, what does a person do? You know, are people prepared for that? You know, I can't even say that I'm prepared for that. You know, I like to think that I can look at the world now and say, well, I know that I can fish, I know that I can hunt, I know that I can eat things that grow on trees and such, but you know what? None of that's going to be available if a meteorite hits the planet. It's not going to happen. So you almost have to, yes, go on about your day living life, but my recommendation is to do it to the glory of God. Some folks say, well, we're just going to live life, don't let anything stop you from living life. I'm not saying go do anything stupid, but, you can't be fearful of this and that. And of course, then I get to thinking about Revelations 21:8. There are going to be a lot of people scared. I think that when there is nothing to fish, nothing to hunt, and everything is pitch black and the air is too hot and acidic to breathe, and when all these things occur, a lot of folks, I think, are probably, and maybe even myself included, really not knowing how to prepare for something like this in totality, as far as stockpiling things that you might need for survival, because it's going to be a totally different survival than we know. But a lot of people are just going to die. They're going to survive and not have any type of gear to survive. They're just not going to do it, and they would have the capability of surviving if they, take care of a few things as far as preparation for something like this. But again, they don't really care. There's no care. There's no concern. Which I think that the more of us that do prepare, no matter who survives, how can I put it? If you got 10 people that do make preparations, go on living your life. Not saying not to do that, but you prepare your life as if you were in a crisis situation, and in preparing for that, somebody else that it's maybe in the church, or somebody that's part of another church or whatever, somebody that's part of your friendship, your family. If somebody were not to survive, but you did, then there's the possibility that their supplies could become somebody else's supplies that may actually survive. And so, essentially, yes, we do definitely need to go on living our lives to the glory of God as usual. But I think also in that instance, I think preparation is something that we're clearly given an understanding that is necessary to prepare for the times at hand. I'm not saying this year is the year. I can just tell you what it is that I've seen in the news, things of this nature, and why it's so important for folks that proclaim, that are professing Christians, why it's so important for them to read their Bibles and know their Bibles and teach their children biblical principles and what the Bible says. I don't think that there's a lot of children today that really care about anything more than an electronic device that wins them, scores. That's about it. And that's kind of sad, because if you're not prepared, they're not prepared. And if they're not prepared, I think that being a Christian is always preparing, always making preparation for, entering into the kingdom when that day comes. Folks that have information, if you want to share it, share it. Let other folks look at it. It doesn't mean that any one of us know anything. No, it doesn't mean that we know factually. If when Christ was here, he said, "Not even I know." So I believe he knows now because he's in heaven. But it's always good to make preparation. It doesn't make you sound crazy. There's nothing wrong with making preparations. The story about the two farmers, they both prayed for rain. Only one of them prepared a crop. Rain came. That's what they asked for. There's probably only one of them that got a harvest. the one that prepared his crop. That's all I'm saying, man. It's that easy. You know what I'm saying? If you want to comment or share this, or you got something you want to rebuttal, that's cool. I mean, I'm gonna listen. But I do think it's serious, and just, you know, roughly 5 months. 5 months. We'll know in 5 months. In the meantime, you know, are we going to do anything in 5 months to get ready? Are we going to do anything in 5 years? Anything within the next 500 years? Because there's a lot of people that they don't know what the Bible says, and they don't care at all. It's just kind of like, you know, making preparations for human genocide or catastrophic events, or, you know, you name it. No one cares. No one cares, which is wild to me, because most of the people that are, you know, they praise and worship compressed cotton with the stamp on it. That is a very serious issue for some people. I mean, that is what they have to have. Well, it's useless right now. American dollar's about 34 cents. That's about what it's worth. And as soon as this stock market crashes, it's not going to be worth anything. Oh, big problem. A lot of people fixing to lose all reality, you know. So, anyways, big love, God love, agape love. All right, then.